What is going on, metas? I've been blessed with what could be the strongest weapon in the game currently, known as the Outer Space. It is a Power Surge SMG. I got it from just like a random drop at the end of the level 45 Silo Theta, and I kind of just want to do a little build around it, kind of showing it off. This isn't even completely optimized. I'll give some better optimizations at the end of the video, but I just want to show off how strong this is as is. So let's get right on into it. Now, for any setup, we always talk about the deviant we are going to use first, and that is going to be that Lone Wolf's Whisper. We like this a lot because of the fact that it's going to give us a free extra 27% weapon damage whenever it attacks a target. Also, for the fact that as it is like attacking targets and taking them down, which they almost like one-shot everything as is, they're going to clone themselves and constantly just keep on attacking and attacking. I've had up to like 6 of them out on the battlefield at once. Is insane as is for just like that alone, but the fact you also get 27% weapon damage from this, and that's for my skill rating 2, activity rating 1 version, is absolutely insane. So definitely have this on. Now, the weapon we're going to be using for this setup is going to be the MPS-7 Outer Space. Again, I got this from Theta in the mid-boss. I think it's a random world drop, obviously, from higher tier chests. So use those controllers on them and see if you're going to get them. But hopefully later down the road, we can actually have a farmable spot for it. The weapon feature is 25% chance to trigger your Power Surge when hitting an enemy. That Power Surge being that extra shock effect that's going to give you that extra elemental damage. It's really nice. I enjoy it a whole lot. After defeating enemy, Power Surge trigger factor is plus 3% chance for 12 seconds. And then after reloading, it's an additional 40% chance for 3 seconds, and your power trigger factor is plus 40% base. So that means it's just going to be constantly activating this really, really strong effect. The current mod I have on this is Static Shock. My surge duration is minus 50% chance, but we have a higher 20% chance damage to that Power Surge. So I really like this for the fact that I just want the damage from it. I don't really need to be like sitting on a target forever. That's not really what we're going for. It's not like a burn build where it's going to be doing like damage over time, where that would be kind of bad for us. We just want straight up damage. Obviously, the other weapon we're going to be using is that recurve crossbow because of the bullseye ability for it to put that weak spot on a target. And then I also obviously have that vulnerability amplifier to add on that secondary weakening effect of vulnerability to the target. Now, doing like a base damage test, just kind of like showing this off, I'm going to just kind of shoot the target in the head as much as I can, and we're getting about 54k there. But obviously, after reloading, we're going to be getting an increased chance of that. So it's actually went up like another like 20,000 damage just right there on its own. So that's really nice, but obviously we can take out our recurve crossbow and also pop our deviant to get that extra damage. So I'm going to pop him and do this, and then we're going to shoot him in the head. And pretty solid 118k just on that on its own. Obviously, we're going to reload, get that extra chance, and it went up another 130 just on that alone. Obviously, I don't think my dog is attacking, so I don't think I'm currently getting that extra 27%. I think that's mainly just coming from that weak spot. I really wish they would fix, you know, our deviants being able to attack on targets and stuff so we can test these a little bit better. But I think at this moment, I don't think it was activating, but at the same time, it's going to be a higher number. That's the easiest way to put it. Now, when it comes to the gear we're doing for this, obviously Mayfly goggles are going to be huge because it's going to give us that extra trigger count, but at the same time, minus power surge damage. We're already getting a little bit of that, but being able to trigger that more often and all that is going to just be free damage on its own. Also, comboing a full Falcon set so that I'm able to get that extra crit damage from having my stamina high, the extra regular from just like the second perk itself. So it's really great. Obviously, as well, a Lone Wolf set would be really solid for this for the increased crit rate and everything with that. I currently just have the boots for it. Falcon set is going to be probably the easier one for anybody who isn't really doing a lot of Star Crumb and focusing different, items at the gotcha machine. So I think that's a great one. But once you're able to get at least a 3-piece Lone Wolf set, I would swap over to this. Now, mod-wise, I'm kind of going across the board here, doing a little bit of crit rate on my helmet with that first move advantage. So I'm getting that extra crit rate after reloading, and crit damage on my mask. I'm running targeted strike, so I get that benefit out of that weak point I'm putting on with that recurve crossbow. On my jacket, I'm going to be doing crit enhancement, and I have a little bit of an elemental enhancement and magazine size with that. Pants, I'm going to be doing bullet siphon. Our weapon damage is increased as we are going through the mag up to a 20% buff. On my gloves, I'm running elemental overload, so that I'm getting that extra elemental damage from that shock effect. And then finally on my shoes, slow and steady, so I'm getting that extra elemental and also weapon damage there, when then also getting additional for having extra HP. Now, when it comes to your Memetics Cradle and everything you need here, obviously Deviation Master, so that whenever you have that out, you're getting that extra damage. Automatic Weapon Enhancement for that extra damage to our SMG, and then reload 10% of the magazine capacity from reserves upon defeating a target. It's really nice. Rapid Aid, so I'm getting that extra health. Tactical Combo, so whenever I reload, I'm getting that extra weapon damage for 4 seconds. Status Enhancement to increase that status effect of that shock. Transient Impact after triggering Power Surge damage plus 25% for 3 seconds, which is obvious. First round blast after reloading, instant damage from Power Surge is plus 25% for 4 seconds. Obviously, more bigger number, really good. And then finally, a Master Tactician, so that I'm able to use that tactical item to get that extra damage against Grade 1 bosses. Now, I want to talk real quick about a couple of the armor pieces that you can buy for this set and whether they will be good or not. So first up, for the single kind of items, we have the yellow paint mask. Your defeating enemies will generate EMP, dealing Power Surge 1 time to enemies in the area. Not really all that useful. You're already going to be shredding dudes almost instantly with the weapon as is for single mobbing, but bossing is kind of where you more want to focus this, in my opinion, so this will not be as useful. And then we also have the Gas Mask Hood after triggering Power Surge, crit rate plus 35% for 3 seconds. This would obviously be a really solid one just because you're going to be constantly activating that Power Surge, so it will be really solid for combining with other builds such as the Lone Wolf set. Let's talk about that Lone Wolf set real fast. You're able to get those high crit rates and high crit chance, so you're able to just get free damage on top of your already high Power Surge damage. But in my opinion, probably the Shelter set is going to be the best option. Once you get to that second tier, you're getting that plus to your elemental damage, and then the third set is where it really kind of comes in. Each weapon hit grants 1 stack of deviant energy, and for each one of those stacks, you get a percentage of elemental damage up to 20 stacks. And then reloading will get rid of half of those stacks, so essentially 10 for you if you're just using 3 of them. So you're always going to be having at least 10% extra of that damage on top of, the 8% you're getting from the second part. And then when you have that fourth piece on there, it's going to go up to another 10 stacks. So whenever you reload, you'll go down to 15 and immediately pretty much probably shoot yourself back up to that 30 stacks. So I hope all of that has helped you kind of figure out where to put this build for yourself. And thank you so much for watching the video. Again, let me know something you're interested in seeing down below, whether it is a build video, an explanation video, talking about weapons, any of that stuff. I will, help explain for everybody. Also, give a thumbs up on this video. It helps us out in the algorithm. And follow me over on YouTube and Twitter at Byrdman778. Guys, thank you so much. I hope you have a great night, day, or whatever it may be.